Good evening, boys and girls. It's Crum again, and come to you with my weekly podcast. And as usual, our topics of discussion is usual, man. Elephants in the room. I want to start with something today because I heard a little chitter chatter pertaining to the vote. You know, I'm not sure how much society is aware of the United States Constitution because I understand there's power in voting and all that sort of stuff there. That's good. But what I want people to be educated on is this: when it comes to a presidential election, your vote does not go to that president. Your vote empowers the electoral college. The electoral college then votes for a president. So when you run out of here saying, "Oh, I hate Trump, I love Biden," and you go vote for Biden and all that stuff there. But if the electors in the state of Illinois or whichever state you come from or vote in does not agree with you and your Biden push, then your vote gonna go to who they want in office. So essentially, your vote merely empowers the electoral college. So just so y'all understand, get the United States Constitution, read it, dissect it, and grasp your own understanding of it. Don't just take my word or someone else's word for it. Do your own research and background checks and whatever else you need to do to convince yourself. Because just running out here to vote for Biden just because you hate Trump does not put us in a better position. I'm not 100% sure that, Biden is going to be better for the black community. I already know Trump is not really good for no community, for that matter. But I'm not sure if I want to take a chance on Biden. You know what I mean? So I just want y'all to understand that your constitutional right to vote merely empowers the electoral college. So putting all this extra added energy in voting Trump out of office just, to me, shows y'all lack of understanding or intelligence of the United States Constitution, because you're not going to vote for Trump or Biden, one way or the other. You know what I mean? Because your vote only empowers the electoral college. So that's something y'all need to educate yourselves on. Another thing I want to address was elections that are a little more close to home, because the presidential election is a federal election. That's for the whole United States. However, we're here in Chicago. We have a mayor in office that has risen the property taxes, risen the gas taxes, telling her officers to enforce harder on speed tickets and red light tickets and all this stuff here. And at the same time, she's shutting the city down, talking about non-essential workers got to close. Now, how are we going to pay these higher taxes if we don't have a job? How does that work? But everybody is so focused on a federal election. What about this local election with this mayor who has done nothing to benefit us as a race of people, nothing to benefit our community, nothing to benefit no one's community, because she don't even benefit the LGBTQ and whatever else letter got to go with them. She don't even benefit them, and she's a part of them. So who does this lady benefit besides herself? That being said, we spending a whole lot of time forgetting that it has to start locally first. That's the closest to us. That's what affects us first. Whoever's sitting in the Oval Office don't affect us as closely as the people who are sitting here in the state and in the city offices. These are the ones that we need to be really truly focusing on, because when you come to voting for them, now your vote really does have power, because it's the power of the people. Like the first three words of the United States Constitution, we the people. I want to know, and I'm expecting to get as much backlash as you guys can offer. I'm not ducking it. Y'all see me in traffic. You're welcome to hit me up on, inbox me on Facebook, whatever, man. Come on with it. But I'm telling you right now, I don't give a damn who sit in the Oval Office. To be perfectly honest with you, it don't matter. I don't trust now one of them clients, now one of them candidates. I don't truly believe either one of them have my people's best interests at heart. So I really don't care who win that election. I do care who be the next mayor of the city of Chicago, though, because that's an election that I can affect. That's an election that my vote actually does matter in that election. Now, when it comes to the federal elections, if the popular vote really did matter, then Al Gore would have beat George W. Remember that, people. The popular vote, if it would have mattered, Al Gore would have beat George W. But he didn't. You know why? Because the Electoral College. George W. had more electoral votes. So, right, and the same went with Hillary Rodham Clinton. She had more popular votes than she did electoral votes. But we keep somehow forgetting that. Every election, get out the vote, get out the vote, get out the vote. How about we get out and vote for the people who have the power to put an end to this electoral college? What purpose are they serving? Because they don't benefit any of us. We empower them to speak for us, and that just should not be happening. The Constitution states we the people. Then why do we need the Electoral College? Why? For what purpose do they serve other than themselves? We always talk about, you hear politicians talking about the budget this and the budget that. We got trillions of dollars doing this and millions of dollars doing that. Well, what about the millions of dollars that are spent, wasted on electorals? Why not let the people decide who represent the people? Why are we putting middlemen in between the people and the politician? Why? That should not happen. The Constitution was written in 1776. So, and the first thing they said was, we the people. We the people. So why are we steady empowering? Why are the people voting to empower the Electoral College? They're not benefiting us. They're not benefiting us. All they're doing is harming the election. That's it, because the people can't have a say. You really don't have a say in the presidential election. You might think you do. You probably feel like you do. But at the end of the day, your vote only empowers the Electoral College. That is it. The Electoral College, when those people in the state of Illinois, last time I counted, was 23 electorals in the state of Illinois. I could be wrong, might be 22. But anyway, whatever that number is, all we doing in the state of Illinois is empowering those 22 or 23 people, and then they decide who they want to put in office. Not who the people want, not the people, who they want. When they sit at that table, they decide where the state of Illinois presidential election vote goes to. Think I'm lying? Read the United States Constitution. Don't take my word for it. Read the United States Constitution. Now, moving on, we had a second presidential debate, and I sat there and watched it, and you know, bared as much of it as I could. My question is, who moved the scale? I mean, really, who moved the scale? I went through 2 debates, and I still don't know who to vote for. So, you know, who actually moved the scale? You know, is Trump a racist? Yeah, hands down. Is Biden a racist? Absolutely. He got the same evidence against him that Trump has against him. No different. They both are racist. Nothing we can do about that. Who mean us the most good as a race of people? And when I say as a race of people, I'm speaking in terms of the so-called African American. You know, which one of them mean us the most good? Little known fact that went clean over the majority of the so-called African American community's head in George W.'s last year in office. He gave the African American a 25-year extension on their right to vote. So think about that. You had what's known in the ghetto as a nappy-headed Negro that took office right after that. And guess who his vice president was? Joseph Biden. Joseph Biden. He, northern nappy-headed Negro, thought to put an end to the extension and just give us citizenship. Make us citizens. Because if you don't have the right to vote, you're not a citizen. If there's an extension on your right to vote, then you are temporarily citizen. You're not a complete citizen in the United States of America. But you just keep running on out there and voting in the election, in the presidential election, and keep on empowering the electoral college. That's what you do. Don't vote for the people who have the power to do away with the electoral college. No, don't vote for them. That wouldn't make no sense. That's stupid, Crum. Why would we vote for that? We got to get Trump out of office, Crum. Really? Yeah, we got to get Trump out of office. Of course. But who are we putting in office? Who? You look at Trump, what has Trump done? He's proved that he's a racist. He's proved that he's all about separation when it comes to racists. He's also kicked a whole lot of nappy-headed Negroes out the penitentiary. Now let's look at the other side of the coin. You have Joseph Biden, and then you have Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris was a United States prosecutor. A United States prosecutor. Now, don't get me wrong, she was on the federal level. Yeah, she's on the federal level with a 97% conviction rate. And although it's a whole lot of nappy-headed Negroes in the federal institutions, but them white people dominate that part of the equation. There is more of them in the feds than it is us. But she started from somewhere, because when she came out of law school, she didn't go straight to federal prosecution. She had to start on the state level. So she locked up a whole lot of us first, along the way throughout her career. Then let's look at her running mate, Joseph Biden. Me, I am a live and direct result of Joseph Biden's mess the last time he was in power to change law or, draft law. You know what I mean? I am a direct result of that. I was sitting in Cook County Jail, Division 9. I had a first-degree murder, attempted first-degree murder, and on a separate case, I had a possession with intent to deliver. Well, on that possession with intent to deliver, that case, when I caught it in February of 93, only carried 2 to 5. But good old Joseph Biden, good old Joe Biden, came with this bright idea called mass incarceration. Mass incarceration on the state level, not federal, on the state level. So that 2 to 5 that case carried, guess what? Good old Joe Biden upgraded it. It became 6 to 30. I copped out for 6 years for a drug offense. The case carried 6 to 30. But that's good old Joe Biden. Good old Joe Biden. Good old Carol Moseley Braun. Good old Bill Clinton. You know, the first black president. Get out and vote. Rock the vote. I remember hearing Puffy Combs on TV all the time, shaking his booty as usual with tight ass pants on, talking about rock the vote, y'all. And look who we put in office. Somebody that slammed the nappy-headed Negro in prison and buried him in there. You got guys sitting down in Stateville right now with 50 plus years because they got caught with 2 keys of cocaine. Ain't killed nobody. Only gun they ever saw in their life was on TV, in a movie. But they got 50 years for 2 keys of cocaine. Isn't that something? Good old Joe Biden. Get him in office. A friend of mine told me once that Joe Biden would be a good candidate because he did apologize. Isn't that something? Willie Lynch apologized too. After he became the white version of Nostradamus and predicted the future of the so-called African American. See, I never identified with that African American crap. No, not me, because I wasn't born in Africa, and America really don't want me here either. You know, so I never identified to that African American. I write black on everything. When they go to the races, nationality, I write black. You don't like it, so what? I don't care. That's your business. You want to be an African American, good luck with you. Wish you the best. But I just cannot hitch my wagon to somebody just to get someone else off the wagon. That's not enough for me. That's not enough. My people fought and died for my right to vote. Martin Luther King marched and got beat up for my right to vote. I promise you, it wasn't for me just to vote emotionally, just to get one person out of office. All that was to vote for someone who I feel has my people's best interest at heart. In this present election, I don't believe either one of these people have my people's best interest at heart. I really don't. I don't see it. I'm looking for one of them to convince me one way or the other. I just don't see it. And we're coming up on 2 weeks to vote. I'm probably gonna sit down and watch TV or something because I really just don't know who to vote for. And so ain't no need of me going to stand in the line to vote. Who I'm voting for? Who I'm gonna put in office? Put Biden in office and then he, have a relapse and say, yeah, lock him up again. More mass incarceration, warehousing of men and women. Look at the results of Joe Biden's body of work. Today, you have 3 times more women, so-called African-American women, in prison right now than you had before Joe Biden ever had any power to open up his mouth and say anything regarding the law. But since he came with that mass incarceration, who's been reaping the benefits of that? Who's been a product of that? Us. But this is who we want to be the bottom line. Really? Is that really who we want to be the bottom line? Y'all gotta, do your due diligence. And I'm not telling people not to vote for Biden. All I'm telling you to do is your homework. Understand something. You can't make this an emotional event. You cannot make this an emotional task. You have to vote for who you honestly believe has your people's best interest at heart. You're wasting time. You're wasting the opportunity if you're voting merely just to get Trump out of office. Did he look silly at those debates? Yes. But Joe Biden sure didn't look like no genius neither. No, he ain't look like no genius neither. Did Trump dodge and duck a whole lot of tough questions? Absolutely. Which tough question did Joe Biden answer? Joe Biden ain't answering no tough questions. But everybody forgetting that. Only thing people remembering about the debate is how Trump looked like a fool. Nobody has the gall to step up and say, Biden ain't surprised me. Biden ain't he ain't raised up my antenna. Nobody except Crumb. See, because I don't pledge allegiance to the Democratic Party or the Republican Party or the Independent Party. I pledge allegiance to my people. That's where my allegiance is pledged. The betterment of the Black man and woman. The betterment of Black kids. See, y'all forgetting when Joe Biden was in power. Y'all forgetting all those school shootings and the kids running in them classrooms, killing up everybody and all that stuff there. Those were in rural areas, meaning suburban areas, where the population is 10-1, white to Black. But guess where they put the metal detectors? Guess where they have the most police manpower at? In the slums of the ghetto, the urban communities. Now, don't get me wrong. I grew up on Chicago Avenue and Pulaski. So I'll be the first one to tell you that it's really no high school on the west side that's like 100% safe. But I can tell you this, ain't nobody ran up in no high school on the west side and shot nobody. Ain't nobody ran up in no high school on the south side or north side or over east and shot nobody. Now, outside of the school, down the street from the school, yeah, well, it's been a whole lot of, chalk, outline chalk all over the place because there's a whole lot of people that got smoked in them areas. But ain't nobody ran in that school and shot nobody. But guess what? The federal government gave the city millions and millions of dollars to put all these metal detectors. You got the damn, it's like going into the White House just to go to school. Just to go to class. But you can thank Joe Biden for that because Joe Biden is one of the people that said mass incarceration. Joe Biden was a strong supporter and advocate of Black Jack O'Malley with the truth in sentencing. See, we forget about that. We just want Trump out of office. We forgot about truth in sentencing. We forgot about when Joe Biden and Kara Mosley Braun decided, let's charge our children as adults. There's no way possible that they can get a second chance. There's no way possible that they could be rehabilitated. If a 13-year-old child stumbles across a gun, trips and falls, the gun goes off and he shoots his 13-year-old friend, you want to give him natural life. First of all, he don't barely even know what a gun is. Second of all, he damn sure don't know how to operate this gun. So why would you destroy his entire life for that one mistake? Granted, a life was taken and there's no way to get it back. No way to get it back. But you get a chance to save a life. One was taken, but you get the opportunity to save one. Do you take that opportunity? No. Joe Biden and Kara Mosley Braun say to lock his ass up and charge him as an adult. And then give him natural life. 13 years old. I was down in Danville with both of those little guys that had that Robert Sanford case. I was down there with both of them. They came through babies in the county jail. I was in the county jail when they caught the case. Babies, just babies. And guess what? Guess where I met them at? Guess where we became great friends at? In school, in college. See, both of those guys got degrees. Both of those guys have credits towards their bachelor's. When the University of Chicago, University of Illinois came down to Danville Correctional Center, and they brought this program called the EJP, Education Justice Project. You couldn't even get in the program. They taught bachelor classes, but you couldn't get in there unless you had 60 credits. When you get 60 credits, and I mean 100 course credits, you got 60 of them, you got a degree, an associate's degree. Now, you want to tell me that those guys couldn't be rehabilitated? But they both have degrees. You gave up on them, gave them 60 years. One was 14, the other one was 13. But you gave them 60 years. You destroyed their lives. Joe Biden, Carol Mosley Brown, and all you people that empowered them. But this is who y'all want to sit in the Oval Office and represent us? This is who y'all telling me have my people's best interest at heart? Joe Biden said, I'm sorry for the mass incarceration. I'm sorry for addressing and labeling the African American as the super criminal. I'm sorry for that. But just like Trump said, you sat in office 8 years and you've done nothing to prove you're sorry. You've done nothing to give us any inkling that you're sorry. You've done nothing to correct it, but now you promise to correct it. And then you try to throw your friend Barack Obama under the bus in that last debate when you made that little shout out like, well, this time I'll be the president, not the vice president. As if you made an effort to correct your wrongdoing, but Barack told you, no, don't apologize to my people. Don't correct your mess that you made with my people. Barack may or may not be a whole lot of things, but I promise you, he ain't told that man not to do that. He did not tell that man not to make a correction to his mess. He ain't tell him that. Did not tell him that. But this is who y'all want to sit in the Oval Office and represent and be in charge and lead the African American community. This is who y'all want. See, the people that's saying Joe Biden was sorry, Joe Biden has a heart, Joe Biden has a conscience and all that stuff there, these are the people that ain't never had a traffic offense before. They have never been in no situation where they had to bump heads with the law. So I can understand their position. But what I don't understand is they didn't bump heads with the law. But they have several family members that have bumped heads with the law. And yet they have no compassion to what their family members went through and going through. But this is the type of individual y'all want me to vote for. Crum, just take one for the team. I had one of my close friends I was locked up with. He tell me, say, Crum, just take one for the team, man. Just vote for Biden, just so we can get Trump out of office. Yeah. That sound good on the surface. That sound real good on the surface. Just vote for the sake of getting Trump out of office. Damn the betterment of our people. Just get Trump out of office. Trump is not the be-all, end-all to the problems that's wrong in the African-American community. Did he add to them? Absolutely. Getting rid of him with that cure our problems? Hell no. And if you think it will, you's a damn fool. Just that simple. Just that simple. Another thing about the Constitution that you people need to understand is in the state, the governor is the baddest motherfucker there. The president can't even step on his toes. He the baddest person in this state. Why you think Trump just shoots shots at Pritzker? That's all he could do is talk about it. He can't make J.B. Pritzker do nothing. J.B. Pritzker is what's popping in this state. Good, bad, or indifferent. So again, I ask y'all, why devolve so much time and energy, so much emotion into this presidential election? It's federal, ladies and gentlemen. It's federal. We need to focus on cleaning up this state. We want our situation, our communities to be better. Then we need to focus on who's closest to them with power. Mayors, General Assembly, and ultimately the governor. That's how you clean up the communities. Rome wasn't built overnight. It takes time, people. It takes time. But we have to work together. We have to be smart. We have to do due diligence. My last podcast, one of my brothers said, hey, man, we need to start voting for people that's up and coming. You know, like senators. That's how Barack Obama came to power so fast. He rose to power faster than anybody else. I ain't seen nobody rise to power faster than him since Martin Luther King. We know what he was doing at 28 years old. So I think that was like the best suggestion I've heard when I say, what are our solutions? We all know what the elephants in this room is. But what are our solutions? Everybody have a suggestion. Everybody could point out what the problem is, but ain't nobody giving us no solution. Joe Biden ain't the answer. Getting rid of Trump ain't the answer. We got other issues. Yes, the police is killing black people at an all-time high. But guess who killing more black people than the police? We are. You have more black on black crime than the police on black crime double. So don't tell me about with Trump in office, the police is killing our people. But you ain't gonna say a damn thing about Craig killing little Taiwan. You ain't gonna say nothing about G-Mac shooting Keisha. But you wanna tell me about Trump and the police having open season, duck hunting on us? And we ain't doing nothing to respond to that. Except, let's vote for Biden. How about we defend ourselves? Remember with the George Zimmerman case? That stand your ground? Guess what, people? That's on the laws. That's on the books. That's in the Illinois Constitution, Illinois State Constitution. Stand your ground. Do we enforce that? Do we even try to abide by that? No. Just get Trump out of office. That's our thing. Just get Trump out of office. The police just shot somebody. Police just killed somebody. Get Trump out of office. That's why they doing it, because of Trump. Chicago PD don't take orders from Trump. They don't take orders from Trump. The state police does not take orders from Trump. City police did not take orders from Trump. The president, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, just represent one thing. When somebody has to take, when one person has to take the blame, that's what the president is for. Congress, people, Congress is who run the land. That's who run the continental U.S. Congress. United States Congress. It don't matter what the president say. If 2/3 of Congress say, get your ass out of here, he done. Congress got the power. The president just the fall guy. That is it. Think I'm lying? Read the Constitution. See, I sat in prison for 27 years fighting those murders. So I know the Constitution well. I know where the power lies. A lot of y'all been sitting out here free, willy-nilly. Don't even know nothing about the Constitution. Ain't never heard nothing about the Constitution since you graduated out of 8th grade. That was the last time you heard anything about the Constitution. Pick it up today and read it. Pick it up today and read it. The same way you read them articles when these different news stations is pointing out Trump's idiocy. Read the Constitution with that same due diligence, that same understanding, and that same attentiveness. Read it. Then you tell me who has the power. When I made a post and said, why vote at all? What difference would it make? I got all type of backlash. My people died for my right to vote, so I'm gonna vote. Your people didn't die for you to vote for somebody that's gonna put their foot on your neck. You're gonna take this foot off your neck, get him out of office because you don't like his shoes, and then you're gonna let this other person put his foot on your neck because his shoes are a little more comfortable. The stupidest thing I've ever heard in my lifetime, and I've been on this earth 45 years. The stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life was vote for the lesser two evils. When I hear that, you know what I'm hearing? I'm in a room, and there's 2 doors to get out this room. When they open both doors, I got Freddy Krueger at one and Jason at the other. I got to die. Which way do I want to go? I want Freddy Krueger to scratch me up, or do I want Jason to cut me up? I can't vote for the lesser two evils. I can't do it. Now, you want to know what power in voting really could be? Tell me what'll happen if don't nobody go and vote. That's what I like to know. Wonder what would happen if the popular vote ceased to exist. I'll tell you what'll happen. The United States Congress will elect a president. That's what'll happen. Because if don't nobody go out and vote, the electoral college you can't empower the electoral college. Who they represent? Nobody. Because they ain't got nobody to vote. The popular vote is what it is. It's just popular. Good conversation. Because we just went through back-to-back elections. You know, well, not back-to-back. You had Barack in the middle, but the George W. election, he ain't win the popular vote now time, but he won the presidency. Won the presidency both times, served 8 years. Donald Trump didn't win no popular vote, but he won the presidency. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's true. So the more people go out and vote, don't mean the more people that's gonna get Trump out of office. No. Your vote only goes to the electoral college. You're only empowering the electoral college. Now, you might feel different. You might say, Crum, you stupid. Some of y'all might even agree with me. I can tell you this, though. Those y'all that know me, y'all already know what I'm finna say. I don't give a fuck about none of y'all. I don't care who agree with me, who disagree with me, none of that stuff. Because at the end of the day, I'm entitled to my opinion just like you all are entitled to y'all's. All I'm doing is merely pointing something out, merely enlightening my people on a few things. That's it. You know, just wake up, people. Wake up. Because we have power. There is power in the vote, just not in the presidential election. Ain't no power in that vote. Because your vote really not counting for nothing. It's, you know, it don't go to the election. I mean, it just don't. Now, on a local level, again, you have a mayor sitting in the city of Chicago. She done raised all these taxes, but now she's shutting down non-essential jobs, close it down. And you got J.B. Pritzker, I'm going to take your liquor license and all this old crazy stuff. You're going to take my job and then raise all these taxes and expect me to pay it. Where am I going to get the money from? They didn't think that one all the way through, did they? So guess what that does to the deficit in the city of Chicago? Guess what that does to the deficit for the state of Illinois? It's already at $4 billion in the red. And you want to raise the taxes and take the jobs. Ooh. And all these people in Chicago running around talking about, we need Trump out of office. As if that's going to solve anything. Trump leave office, this going to be the status quo. But Joe Biden going to go right in there and do the same thing Joe Biden been doing since he's been in politics. Lying. Just using euphemisms. Get a dictionary, boys and girls, and look that word up. Euphemism. Probably hear that every Sunday when you're at church. That's pretty much what all them pastors be doing too. Tell you what you want to hear. That's all. But anyway, that was my podcast for this week. I hope y'all enjoy it, and I hope y'all tune in to me next week too. And I look forward to hearing some comments and backlashes and all that stuff. But until then, I'm enjoying my life. Get one.